Hey, you guys, it's been a while since I recorded. I have been intending to record for probably the last couple of weeks, and then time gets away from me, family, um, has stuff going on. My kid is here from Germany, so I've just been really busy. So I'll probably do a couple of videos today while my husband is out doing some last minute shopping. Because he does not do online shopping. I'm all done, but he insists on going in stores. He's not um, big into the whole electronic era of how we do things. So he's out and about. Okay. You have to excuse the light kind of beaming in through my window. I'm in a different spot than I normally am. So the first video that I'm going to do today is a little late because last week I had a birthday. I turned 45 on the 15th. And I wanted to get on here because we do, in my family, we have like a tradition where we all, when it's somebody's birthday, we all honor them by saying something about them, giving people praise, while they're here, letting them know what we think of them, how much we love them, who they are to us. And so it was my day. And we went over to my folks' house. And I often forget, and most people probably don't even think about it, that my parents, when they found out that they were having me, were just kids. They were 16-year-olds. And I forget that they were that young because they've always seemed like parents. They're parents to me. Um, and they did such a great job with me. But, anyways, so my mom, she took the time to tell this story about basically being 16 and being pregnant with me, and how she had challenges, but none of her challenges were the fact that she was pregnant with me. It was more so what others thought she should do about being pregnant with me versus her not thinking of any other option but having me. And I thought that was one of the most amazing things because I can't necessarily say at 16 that I wouldn't have thought of those other options um, that were presented to her. But I'm so glad that her and my dad made the choice. Oh, this is a blessing. They considered me a blessing even at 16 and 17. So either they just are just amazing people, which is what I'll go with, or they were just crazy kids, probably a combination of both. Because it's not an easy task being a parent. I was in my 20s, okay, when I became a parent, for the first time. I was 22 when my son was born, 21 when I got pregnant, and then 28 when my daughter arrived. So it's quite a, it's not an easy um, task by any means being a parent, let alone being a young parent. And I just thought that their stories, both of them, was so amazing because it was a sacrifice for them, but for them, I was a blessing. And I'm like, wow, um, that in itself is just such a great thing to hear coming from your parents. Never feeling like they regretted the decision of having me. It's like, this is our baby. We love her. This is what we're going to do. And my dad, of course, he was very young, and my dad went to the military because, um, that was a one of the main things to do back then. If you have a family to take care of, he had me to take care of, and Pampers to buy, and all of that. And it wasn't, easy peasy. Formula and all that sort of stuff. Very expensive. And so he, um, joined the military. My mom, took care of me really well. And I just, always am amazed at the story of um, the coming of Sharonda, um, and how they took the time and basically made the decision. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get some of this light out of you guys' eyes. Okay. Made the decision to bring forth life, to have me, and not give me away or abort me or any of those things. Were didn't even cross. When my mom says none of that even crossed her mind, and I was like, wow, you are amazing, because I can't say that that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have at least thought it at 16. I was pretty selfish at 16. I remember praying prayers when I was that age, um, because, shocker, I was sexually active, at that age. And I was like, Lord, please don't let me get pregnant. I ain't got time to have no babies. I'd rather not be able to have any kids than to get pregnant at 16. Of course, I regretted that prayer later because I was like, oh, wait a minute, I want kids. Once I got older, I realized I did want children. Good thing the Lord wasn't listening to that part of that prayer for me. But I just think that is just amazing, that they um, made that choice, and they have been great parents. They're funny, and when I think back, because my parents were young, and so watching them grow into who they are now has been like, wow. Of course, spiritually they're totally different people because they're not kids, anymore. They've grown, they've had life experiences, and those things that they instilled and taught me, because they were very um I, I can't think of any other word than insistent on some things. They were insistent about me knowing my heritage. Um, they were insistent about me not being ignorant about a lot of things. I knew stuff always before I was supposed to, like school wise, you know what I mean? But they also were protectors of my innocence. Like, I couldn't watch rated R movies probably until I was grown, almost. Even after they found out that I was sexually active, they still wouldn't let me watch anything that was rated R. Movies, I would get kicked out the room. They were very protective of my innocence and my childhood in that way. Um, and I, did that on some level with my kids. Probably not to the level that they wanted me to, but they did that. You know what I mean? And I did purposely protect my kids' innocence as well. It's like I didn't rush them to be little adults. You know what I mean? Um, and they were big on respect. And so it's like they were kids trying to teach me how to be a grown up. You know what I mean? Raising me to be a certain way. And so that's amazing to me. That was one of the best things about my birthday. I love hearing the story of me, and how I came about and how they felt and their feelings about that. And so I wanted to do a recording about that and just tell them I love them, because even though I'm 45, they're some of my biggest supporters still. Yeah, and I'm sure they'll watch this before anybody else will. So thank you guys. I love you so much. See you later.